Hey, Sneekylinux back. Yeah, it's quite a quick one, yeah. This is not a Linux distro, of course. Now, as you know, I've got quite a few action cameras. I've got two at the moment, actually. I've got the i T5E and the GetUp Get 2 Pro. Or it's just the GetUp Get 2. The Pro just gets you all the extras in the box, okay? So it's the same camera, but my one's got the Sony sensor. But we're not talking about the GetUp today. Today we're talking about TI, or the i T5E. Now, a few days ago, it got a new firmware upgrade. Now, some of you who don't use action cams may not know that when you buy the camera, that's just not it, okay? When you buy this camera, or whatever camera, I think they nearly all do it, actually, even the SJs and the Fireflies. If you go to the websites, there's firmware upgrades that you can do. And what I'm going to do today is show you basically how to do it and how it's done on most cameras. But please check with the website before you start to do it, okay? And also, I have to make sure it's plugged into a USB port, so you've got a bit of power, or you've got a full battery, okay? So anyway, I've got the T5E here, okay, which is this one over here. And as you know, some newer ones here. The T5 Edge I've looked at, it says 4K Wi-Fi, and it does all that. I don't think it's as good as a T5E. But they're based around the same price, and there's also the E7. So they're coming on more and more. And there are some new sensors coming online soon, okay? So we're going to see 4K as standard with image stabilisation. Unfortunately, the T5E that I have at 4K does not support image stabilisation. But at 1080-60, which is what I mainly use, because most of you haven't got 4K monitors. So what's the point? Yeah? See where I'm coming from? Now you know. So I know this is going to last me quite a while. So anyway, moving on. Mine's quite old now. So there's two options here. You've got TI Bluetooth remote, okay? So just make sure you've got the right one. If you don't have a remote with your camera, okay, which I don't because mine's an earlier one, the newer ones come with different remotes. So you've got the two button one, or the 5 button, or is it 4 button? If you have no remote, go to this version here, which is the 180601 V51. So that's this one here, that little button there. Can you see it? And you click there to download your firmware. My voice is going, sorry. Okay, I'll blow a bit of drinkage there. Lack of apple juice, sorry about that. Has that cured it? Just a little. So anyway, I have downloaded it for you anyway. Okay, so we're going to minimise that page for you. Now here you will see I have the zip file, okay? So that's what I want to extract. I want to extract that to my desktop, okay? So I'll go to desktops. It doesn't actually matter if you're in Windows, Mac, Linux, BSD or whatever. It all works the same. As long as you've got an unzipping program, it will do the job for you. So I'm going to extract it to my desktop. We click extract. It's extracting. It's done the job. And there it is. It's all done. So I'm going to close that now. And here's the file. Now, these guys in China who make these cameras, you know, they're actually getting good at this. They're actually starting to listen to the Europeans and people all around the world that we need a bit of instruction sometimes. Well, I don't, but maybe you do. The changelogs text here. Read the tips before upgrading. Should we click on that? Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Oh no, we can't do that one. Should we try again? With that one. Oh no, why not? Never mind. So I won't worry about that. And the reason why I've done that is because I'm going to upgrade on the camera. And if you click here, you get the bin file, which is what you need for your camera. And here are the instructions in a text file. So don't diss them for some of the bad grammar. Remember, they're not English speakers, so don't worry about it. So format your micro SD card, copy the firmware, which is the bin file, to the directory of the file. And they said root directory here. It's best to just blank the whole card, reformat it into FAT32, or anything like that. That's all you have to do. Okay. I know it says here don't change the name of the file or anything. Yeah, don't change the name of the file because otherwise it will crash or brick your camera. Now when they say here connect the camera with the SD card, they mean actually put the SD card in the camera with the power socket, which means into a USB charger. Just make sure, if you're not going to do it that way, make sure you've actually got a full battery. Okay, as it says here, make sure you've got enough power to turn it on. The camera will update automatically. It takes about 3 minutes. Mine took around about 90 seconds. After upgrading successfully, take the TF card out. They just mean the SD card, and delete the firmware, because otherwise what will happen is you'll put the card back in and redo the same thing over and over and over and again. So take the card out, take the file out, and you're ready to go basically. So that's what we're going to do. So here I'm just going to get this little card here. We've got a card here. It's a, I think it's a 32 class 10. So I've just plugged it in. It comes up as TI or VI, however you want to call it, and it's empty. Can you see? So what I'm going to do is go back to my desktop. And remember, as I said before, this works whether you're on Windows, Linux or Mac or whatever operating system you're using. Unless you're using some really, really obscure one that can't do it. So I'm going to go into my file here. Can you see? So when I extracted, upgrade on camera, there's my bin file. Okay, I'll click on it. I'm going to copy and go straight to the SD card and paste. That's all you have to do. Okay. Oh, that was quite quick, wasn't it? Yeah, super duper. So that's now on the card. So we don't come out of that. All you do now is put it in your camera, turn the camera on, and wait. What will happen is the screen will come on as normal, and then all of a sudden the blue light will start flashing, and the screen will go dark. When all lights are stopped flashing and they turn off, your camera is upgraded, and you'll have the newest, greatest firmware for your T5E or whatever camera. This also works the same way for the GitUp. That's just how it does. They release firmware quite regularly, so don't worry about it. And it gives you lots of extra features. So when you buy that camera, say when I bought this one nearly 2 years ago, 18 months, 2 years ago, so I didn't have the remote, but I can still access new firmware all the time I've got it. So that's super. You know what I mean? So even though these cameras are around about, you can get the GitUp Git 2 for between £90 and £130. The T5E is still hovering around about £140. The price hasn't actually changed. Just check what sensor you're getting with the camera. Anyway, Sneekylinux out. I see Liz. Bye bye.